Hi, welcome to the second shift review. We're doing Tropic Thunder.
2008 black satirical action comedy.
Yeah! It's got Ben Stiller, Robert Downey Jr., Jack Black, some other guys in it, I think.
All right, man. I guess we're gonna talk like this the whole time.
Yeah.
Yeah!
Yeah! Hoorah!
Woo! Hey, welcome to the second shift review. I'm Ethan. Joining me as always is Gary and Roderick. Today we're doing the review of 2008 black satirical action comedy Tropic Thunder, directed and starring Ben Stiller and Jack Black and Robert Downey Jr. Let's talk about our first impressions. Gary?
First impression was that when they first started, I was like, man, this is gonna be just a silly comedy without the real, like, a storyline or anything. And then by the end of the movie, the characters do develop quite a bit, and you see them kind of develop throughout it. And then it also, first impression is, man, that thing really pushes some major boundary. Like, they go really, some of the jokes they I guess they said
They pushed
Robert Downey Jr. said in an interview,
If there were an actor you based your character on, who would it have been?
Sadly, my sorry ass self.
Your first impression?
Good movie. Pretty funny. Yeah.
I saw it in theaters and I freaking loved it. It was hilarious. Blew me out of the water.
But you were in a theater.
That's true.
How would it blow you out of the water?
It blew me into the water.
Okay.
I feel it's overlooked. It's about what, 10 years old, and I don't hear a lot of people talk about it.
It's slept on.
Yeah, which I feel it got a lot of bad rap with the mentally handicapped and the racial things that they try and bring up.
Yeah.
yeah. The racial thing I didn't think was quite as bad.
Yeah, it's
but the mentally handicapped thing,
yeah, it's really in your face.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's still funny.
Yeah.
Because the way they go about it is really funny, and they bring a lot of good points.
Yeah.
And it definitely reminds you of some actors like Ben Stiller had that deal of Scorcher. He was doing a movie called Scorcher, and I guess it was a big hit, and then they just overplayed the crap out of it. Like they did like 4 or 5 of them.
Well, let's move into our spoilers before we get too far into it.
Yeah.
So, spoiler.
Spoilers.
Spoilers.
It's a spoiler.
Spoilers.
It's spoilers.
I'm still half deaf and laughing.
Yeah. Spoilers.
Gary, spoilers.
Spoilers. Here, I'll use
Making
that.
the big bucks.
Spoilers.
Like,
What is that?
that's a f***ing mine!
Oh!
No! What's this? I loved the whole intro commercials and the idea that you're watching an actual like documentary of this failed film,
Yeah.
and that they're all real actors. So if you think about it, they're actors playing actors who are playing a role in a movie. What do you think of the commercials and the whole viral marketing?
I thought it was pretty funny. The whole the one that really, I don't know if he was even famous in it, was the booty sweat guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was he?
He's not a big actor.
Yeah. The best one in there was Robert Downey Jr. How he was getting into the
You don't realize it's him.
yeah.
Like throughout the whole movie.
You forget.
Yeah.
They said, because at the beginning of it, they had, well, actually towards the middle, they had a deal where Tom Cruise was playing somebody that was, that he was playing somebody and he was in pretty good disguise. But I knew that it was Tom Cruise in that.
Yeah.
I watched the whole first time I watched it in theaters. I did not know that was Tom Cruise. When it came out on DVD, I watched it and I'm like, that's Tom Cruise.
Yeah.
What?
Robert Downey Jr., that was a tough one to catch.
Yeah.
I thought that Robert Downey Jr., like,
Well, I mean, they introduced him at the beginning of the movie as Robert Downey Jr., so you're like, okay.
Mm-hmm. But you don't, like, it doesn't click.
Yeah, you forget, though. Halfway through the movie, you're like, okay.
And he's the only one that stays in character because at the beginning, at the
Yes.
very beginning of it, they all get into characters for just a little while.
Mhm.
Although Ben Stiller sure does take a long time to figure out. Like, it isn't until the very end of the movie that he finally figures out that it's real, you know?
Yeah.
And then,
Well, he talks about how he's not a very intelligent person,
yeah.
and that, like, after his Simple Jack movie, he kind of got dumber.
He went.
Yeah.
He did
went-
too much method acting.
He went full R word. I'm not going to say it. Yes. I love that Tobey Maguire shows up in the first in Satan's Alley.
Oh yeah, Tobey Maguire shows up in the Robert the Robert Downey Jr.
They're playing gay monks in the 16th century. It's called Satan's Alley, and it won the coveted Malaysian crying monkey award, which I don't think is real.
I don't think so.
I like the one guy's character's name is Al Pacino, but it's spelled
Booty
different.
Sweat.
Yeah, which I heard
They bring that up at the.
I don't know if it's true, but I heard that you could actually buy Booty Sweat for real when the movie came out.
That's
Like it was an actual
that's
product,
weird.
kind of like viral marketing, which I thought was funny.
Yeah.
What did you think about the whole intro part where you think it's like really happening and they're getting killed and all that?
I thought that was pretty good. Good little twist joke.
Yeah. And then just blow everything to hell.
Mm-hmm.
And then Ben Stiller's character can't cry. He's just like,
yeah.
can we cut?
Yeah, throughout that, Ben Stiller is dealing with a lot of intimidation from Robert Downey Jr.'s character because he feels like he's being outclassed as an actor.
Mm-hmm.
And then Robert Downey Jr. is dealing with just getting way too lost in his characters. Like, for that character, he went and got a surgery. Skin pigmentation surgery that he was super happy about getting.
Yeah.
And he stayed in character throughout the whole thing, even thinking that it was not a movie anymore.
It seems to me that they were trying to...
And then he also put himself into that guy's trying to relate with the Booty Sweat guy as a black person.
I
Does
feel
the
like,
deal with the Jeffersons.
Yeah. I feel like he was trying... He's kind of making fun of Daniel Day-Lewis and like the extent he goes to be like a method actor, and he's like well-renowned. He's won all these awards and stuff. I feel like they were trying to make fun of him, kind of like that he'll do anything to like become the role.
The Jack Black character kind of reminded me of the Nutty Professors.
Oh, 100%. Yeah.
They did what they called fats or something.
The fatties.
The fatties.
Yeah, that's 100% what he was making fun of.
Mm-hmm.
The whole like Eddie Murphy rise and fall.
Except I'm pretty sure that Eddie Murphy didn't have a
no
huge cocaine habit.
He might have in the 80s. I don't know.
Yeah.
The Danny McBride kills it in this movie, I think. The explosions technician. Every time he's on screen, he's funny.
Yeah.
He's like,
he's a good...
Mother Nature just pissed her pantsuit.
Yeah.
And he's kind of playing buddy cop with the Four-Leaf character.
Mm-hmm.
And just back and forth, and then he misses his pulls off his fake hands, and he has real hands and stuff, and he's all fake. I thought just them two back and forth was funny.
Yeah. I only know the sound it makes when it lies.
Yeah. He's like, did you cry when you lost your hands? No. He's like, you gotta take those pansies out into the wild and record guerrilla style. The biggest part that got me when I first saw it was the director getting blown up.
Mm-hmm.
I did not see that coming at all. He's just like, oh.
Yeah.
And I'm like, holy crap, he's dead. And then Ben Stiller's messing with his head.
Yeah.
He's all
And
like,
he puts it on that. Yeah, he puts it on that gun, and then those people think that he's just.
Yeah. He has no fear of death.
Yeah.
And then he like tastes his brain.
Yeah.
And he was like a full-on cannibal. He's all like, it tastes like blood flavored
Yeah,
syrup.
it's just blood flavored
Yeah.
syrup.
I'm like, okay. Tom Cruise's
Mhm.
character is crazy.
Yeah, he also he has no care for any of
No,
it.
he's
I guess
just there for himself.
he's trying to make fun, like he's trying to be like a stereotype for directors that just don't give a crap about the actors.
Yeah,
Pretty much, or
he's not a
producers.
director. He's like a producer,
Producers
or like
that
a
don't give a
owner, kind of.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
he's
then his
super ruthless.
his agent Matthew McConaughey
Oh my God.
is trying
Yeah.
to figure
Pecker.
out. Yeah, he's trying to figure out whether he wants his Ben Stiller, whether he wants Ben Stiller,
Yeah.
his best friend
Yeah.
too,
Yeah.
not just his client, but his best friend, to his life to be
or a
for him to be
G5
or a
and whole bunch of
G5
money.
airplane.
Yeah.
And he's got the deal of Scorched over there, and then
Yeah,
he's got
yeah.
the G5 magazine right beside it.
Yeah.
What was up with the? Did you catch it? This the first time I saw this was just reviewing this. The Matthew McConaughey's assistant comes in and brings this book and sets it down in front of him while he's on the phone, and he opens it up and it's just it's just a book about with pictures of women's breasts.
Yeah.
That's all it is, and he's just like flipping through it. It's like a big book and it has nothing but pictures of
Oh no.
full frontal
Yeah.
women. And he's just like, oh yeah, okay, whatever. I'm like,
Mhm.
what? But the one thing that bothers me about Matthew McConaughey is he gay?
Why you say
Because
that?
he is like hardcore for Ben Stiller's character. Like he's like
Well,
anything.
Yeah, but he does almost ditch him for a G5.
I
Yeah.
don't know. He was pretty. He was pretty like, turned off by that. He was just like,
Mhm.
I can't give up my best friend. And then I want to know if he has superpowers, because at the very end he shows up in the middle of the last act and saves them with the TiVo.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
then,
he throws up the TV.
yeah, and it just
You know-
blows the rocket. But then after you look down and he speeds away faster than any human can run.
Yeah.
He's like,
My favorite part was in the whole movie was whenever they were it was whenever they were starting to get they were trying to get Ben Stiller, and then he was like, no, I'm gonna stay here, and then he tries to go and get
Yeah,
that little kid
yeah.
that he thinks is his son.
half
Yeah.
squat. And then you see
that
him running
kid's
across the
behind
bridge.
him,
He's like
Yeah.
stabbing in the back. He's like, run.
I like that part, and also the simple Jack.
Simple Jack.
The
yeah.
Simple
Yeah.
Jack part whenever they think that Simple Jack's like a really, really good movie because it's the
Yeah.
only movie that they have.
Yeah.
Apparently, I think they have like just VHSs or something.
Yeah.
But for whatever reason, it's the only movie they have. They're like, you should have won an Oscar. They have him do that whole scene or whatever
Yeah.
and just amp it up and amp it up. That part was
And then he gets like
pretty
super
funny.
into it again.
Mhm.
He can't snap out of it. The Tom Cruise character just freaking kills it in the movie for me. Just the best.
Mhm.
The Jack Black and his antics all through the movie.
He
Yeah.
gets his M&Ms.
drug.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's got M&M
I gotta-
filled with, what is it, like Coke or something?
Yeah.
He's got cocaine in these M&Ms.
No, it's heroin.
Heroin.
It's heroin, yeah.
And then a bat goes and gets it.
Yeah.
He's trying to hunt the bat down, and then the bat just falls out of the sky.
And then he's like, you guys chain me up to a tree. He said, I no matter what I say, it's a lie. No matter what I tell you. And that's another thing he's dealing with is being characterized for people not liking him and just liking all of his fart jokes. And he approaches that at the end
Yeah.
of it whenever those guys come in. And he farts accidentally, and they start laughing. And then he goes and
Yeah,
gets
just
those
rage.
deals of he gets those deals of heroin. And he's like, oh, like 2 big handfuls of heroin.
I think it's funny when the Al Pacino character starts talking about him being in love with Lance, which Lance Bass from NSYNC.
Yeah.
And they're like, Lance? And they're like, yeah, I didn't say that. I said Nance.
Nance,
And
yeah.
they're like, it's okay to be gay. Like, you can just say, I'm not gay. I'm not gay.
Yeah.
Jack Black's like,
Yeah.
I'll be gay with you right now. Untie me.
Yeah, he says some crazy stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then when Jack Black first walks in and sees that literal mountain of heroin,
Yeah.
he's just like,
And when they bring up the idea to him, he's like, they bring up the idea, and then they bring it up that it's a heroin farm. He's like, oh, that sounds like a good idea.
yeah, he's like, oh.
But even whenever they're at the end, whenever he gets captured and gets put in that heroin farm after he kills the panda and gets found that way, when he starts to lose it, like he's starting to lose it, you know, Ben Stiller is when he kills the panda. And he's in that panda costume, and then he starts to kind of lose it a little bit, and then even at the he thinks that it's all a show whenever they bring him in, and he goes and just is reacting there still.
That part with the panda where he called Matthew McConaughey, he kills me. He's like, I killed the thing I love most in the world. And he's like, leave the room now.
Hooker?
You killed a hooker, didn't you? He's like, no, I killed a panda. Amanda? I'm like, he's like, oh, a panda. Okay, you have me worried. I think that's about it. That's all I have, really. Let's talk about the final thoughts. Or hidden elements.
I thought it was a really good movie. Would recommend it to most everybody. Funny. Yeah. Gary?
Yeah, it was a good movie, and it kind of characterized the different people that go into films, different kinds of actors and producers and agents and everything like that. It was like a movie about a movie, kind of the way that Birdman was, you know.
Yeah.
And I thought it was pretty interesting and pretty funny too. And some of the ways that they kind of pushed the boundaries were pretty ridiculous with Simple Jack and some of that. But mainly Robert Downey Jr. He was pretty awesome. But anyways, yeah, I liked it quite a bit too. I saw it in theaters also. I thought it was really funny.
One thing is they really hardcore talked about making a sequel starring Tom Cruise and his character and like how he got his anger issues and stuff.
You know,
but it has never materialized.
He wasn't one of my favorite characters.
Yeah, he was funny, but he was. I don't think he's like the best part of the movie.
Like I'd say the best part of the movie was Robert Downey Jr. and then Ben Stiller was the second best, and then the thing that I didn't really care too much about, like I don't think any of us have talked about him yet, is that Jay Birchall.
Yeah.
He could have been out of the movie and it wouldn't have affected.
He's kind of like a grounded character in the movie. He kind of. You have to have like a grounded character to kind of give weight to the ridiculousness of all the other characters.
So you can contrast all of that.
Yeah, because if all of them are doing crazy things, you kind of like, okay. But
Or
he's just doing like exactly what a normal person would do in this situation. Everybody else is just going crazy.
Yeah.
Let's give our final rating, Gary.
I am going to give it 8.3 G5s out of 10.
It's very good. I'm giving it a 6 dead pandas out of 10.
I'm going to give it an 8 out of 10 mountains of heroin. Yeah. So leave a comment, like, share, subscribe.
Sure.
Go to Facebook.
Buy
go
our
to Twitter.
merch.
We'll catch you next time.
Hey.
Do you remember that clip on SNL whenever that guy's that's what he kind of looks like with the deal on. You remember that guy when he's like they're doing the hand puppets and he has that hand puppet.
Oh,
just like I was in Grenada.
You do look like that. That's funny.